Let's talk about the film The Watchers, which is the latest film, well, the debut film of Ishana M. Shyamalan and produced by M. Night Shyamalan. So this is based on the novel of the same name from A.M. Shine, starring Dakota Fanning, Georgina Campbell, Olwen Fouere, and Olwen Finnegan. So basically, your premise here is a 20-year-old Mina, played by Dakota Fanning, gets stranded in this expansive, untouched forest in Western Ireland. Upon finding shelter, she unknowingly becomes trapped alongside the three strangers who are watched and stalked by mysterious creatures each night. So before we get into the review and all of that for the film, I want to let you know we're on the road to 35,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell, all that good stuff. Tons of giveaways, tons of videos all summer long. Don't miss out on that. But let's get into the film and my thoughts on it. So like I've said, this is one of those films that I've just been anticipating. If you know, I've been talking about it for some time now. The trailer really got me. Like when I first watched that trailer, I was like, I'm sad to see what the Watchers are. So I was very interested in also like seeing what the book was about, but I didn't really want to go into the book without watching the film, because that's just me. If I see a film is based on a book, I'm just like, all right, I'll watch the film because that's what's intrigued me first. And then if the film is very intriguing, then I'll go back to the book. And you know, right now I feel like checking out that book because that's how I felt about the film. So this film takes place within this like confinement of sorts, this shelter where the three strangers are. That's where the majority of the film is. And you follow as they are trying to figure out who the creatures are, what's going to happen next, and how do they get out of this whole situation, because of course they can't really spend all of their life in there. So Dakota Fanning is the latest one to arrive there, who she plays the character of Mina. The other characters have been there for some time now. Georgina, Olwen, and Oliver are there for some time. Apparently, Olwen Fouere's character of Melinda has been stuck in there for some time now. So they've gotten to know the place a little bit better and kind of have an idea of how the Watchers operate. What I really loved about the film, though, is its atmosphere that it builds throughout the whole film. Right from the beginning, it really lets you know that this forest is unrelenting and will never let you out. It does give you that feeling that it keeps expanding, and it never ends. And I really loved how they were able to accomplish this with the camera angles that show you just how huge it is, with the fog, with the sound design and all of that. It was just a very creepy, intense film with the forest alone. Then you add on to the fact that they're in this very small, cramped room, and that's all they have for them. They got this little table, a couch, a bed, some really bad reality show is playing as well over and over, and I mean that just seems like a hell of its own. But I really did like the designs of everything, from the room itself to the characters as well, because they all very much so exude their personality through how they dress, the type of things they're carrying around, all of that. There's a bird that steals some scenes here and there, which I was a fan of that bird, I will tell you that. And overall, I thought that this was a very well acted film from the ensemble. I think everybody here is strong. They carry each other, they have their own personalities, they stand out. And at the end of the day, I was just left thinking like, this was a very well acted film from everybody. They all did their part here. The tension building as well was great. Like I've said, the atmosphere was amazing, but the tension building in key scenes also heightened the experience for me, because there's some moments throughout the film where you're wondering what's going to happen next. There's some of these scenes where a character is about to do something and the other characters are like, please don't do this, and you as an audience member are like, yeah, listen to them, do not do that thing right there because I know it's going to be bad. And I really enjoyed how the film was able to build this tension. Everybody in my screening as well loved it as well. I think a lot of people were on the edge of their seat, and when things would happen, everybody was just feeling the same feeling, which is always a great thing in films, especially with horror films, when you're just like, oh my god, why would you do that, or don't do that, don't do that. You know, it's always a great thing right there. I will say also that the lore of the film and the story in itself is great, and that's why I'm very interested in seeing the book as well. Now that I have the chance to go check it out, I will. So I think that the lore building as well for the whole thing with the Watchers was interesting to watch on the big screen, and it left me wanting more in a good way. I think how we got to know what the Watchers really were by the end of it also was done Well, because as you're watching a film and you get these little tidbits of the watchers, you see a little piece of them here, you hear them, you start to realize how they move and things like that. In your head, you're coming to these conclusions of what are the watchers, all of this. And then you get this very key scene where you really find out what they really are. And I'll tell you this, everybody in the audience was just like, what? Like, it was just something that came out of the blue. It was just something that came out of nowhere where everybody's just like, I had no clue that's what it was going to be, but let's see where this goes. And it left me there thinking, I want to find out more about what all of this is exactly. And that's why I'm interested in the book. Now, I have been saying so much great things about the film and all of that. I think that Ishana is a great director. There's some very visually stunning shots here, some very inspired ones as well. I really loved the framing of the film as well, and it really gave you the claustrophobic feeling when it needed to, and also showcased just how expansive these forests was in itself. I think that in the directing aspect, it's great. I think the acting is great as well. The atmosphere was amazing, the tension as well, and the lore of the story is intriguing. I will say that in the third act, however, there are moments where the film starts to lose its steam. It's almost in a way you could say like if somebody's running a marathon and they're going full speed, they're doing amazing, great pace, great footing, everything, and then in the third one, they're part of the race, they just start like lagging off a little, they start slowing down, they just lose their footing, their rhythm, and everything. That's what happens here with the watchers. It starts to lose its rhythm and you can really start to feel it. But I think once it comes to that crossing the finish line, in my opinion, adrenaline like shot exactly is what happens, and we get to that ending clean cut and very well executed for me. I think that the whole story with Mina's personal backstory combined together with the overall theme of the film as well was great, and it left me thinking that there is something like done well here, and it makes me want to revisit this world as well without giving too many spoilers. I was trying to be careful there, and I think that the way that the film as well was able to sort of try to do something grand while trying to do something small, because it is kind of those films where you're wondering what exactly is out there if somebody's lying, but also does a grand reveal. I really think it balanced it well by the end of it, although at times it did feel a little clunky. But overall, I enjoyed the film. I give it 4 stars out of 5. Definitely one of my favorite horror films this year. There's a lot more to it than horror too, but I don't want to give too many things about it away just yet. So let me know if you watched it or not, if you liked it or hated it. If you hated it, that's fine. We don't have to agree. None of us are right at the end of the day when it comes to film. So just let me know what you thought about it and if you enjoyed it or not. But I enjoyed it. I definitely am excited to see what Ishana does next. And as always, that's going to do it for me. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on The Watchers. If you watched it or if you don't even want to watch it, let me know why. And I will be also making more videos all summer long and a tons of giveaways as well. So make sure you're subscribed. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers this summer. So make sure you are hitting that subscribe button and notification bell to know when videos drop. And I'll see all of you next time. As always, stay safe, stay positive.